So it's a bit late, and we are going to do some late night yoga before bed. I did not have much planned here, so we did a little bit of improvising. This is Pistachio, my co star. She's only here for a limited time because she does not stick around for long. But we're going to start off just kind of hanging out, eyes closed, finding some level of peace the most that we can. At this time, currently, I was hearing nothing but the little bell on her collar just pinking constantly because, yeah, this is me looking at her, giving her the look like, yeah, please go away. So, anywho, then we're gonna transition into a downwards dog, and I like to pedal my feet out. Sometimes I'm not that big on sitting still, so if I'm a bit anxious, having more movements instead of less is nice for me. But this allows you to really get deeply into those calves. So you just kind of bend the opposite knee, and then I'm going down into this upwards position. I have trouble remembering the names of the positions. I believe this would be a cobra pose. Maybe. Who knows? It's okay. But taking a couple breaths, hanging out, just once again, trying to relax as much as you can. And yeah, but we do not have to talk about yoga this whole time. I don't really know what else there is to chat about, but I've been working on my vision board currently, and I decided to add a little bit of spice. So I grabbed a piece of cheetah print fabric and I laid it across the entire back of the cork board and pinned it down with pins. And then I'm going to put everything over top of that, which I had something like that when I was younger. If I can find a picture of it, I'm totally sure I can, but I'll try to remember to put it in. That would be so funny. But anyway, that's so random. But it was like this fabric covered corkboard, and mine was zebra print, and it had a ribbon across it, and just you put it on the wall and you can put things on it. Anywho, but it just reminded me of that now. But I did something that I've never done before aside from that, is instead of just printing these pictures out and having an idea of what these pictures were going to be, I actually wrote down what they made me think of in the life that I want to be living. And I did it on the back of it because sometimes too much words can be a bit overwhelming trying to read them instead of just looking at something and getting some type of visual energy from it. Instead, you're like trying to read a bunch of words and it's just too much. But I wrote on the backs of them, and I just kind of put, where is one? Oh, they were over here. But I just kind of put how, like, there was one, I don't know, maybe I don't want to read these things. I'm pretty sure it's like bad luck to share your vision board, actually. I'm so sorry that I acted like I was going to share, but I'm not, because yeah, if that's not the best idea, then let's not do that. But anywho, let's not. So here, back to yoga. You get the idea of what I did. I didn't provide you with an example, but I feel like I gave you a really good idea of what I was talking about. But I put my knees to my chest, and then I went into, it was like a happy baby, but I'm pretty sure there are two opposing like poses that you can do, and it's solely based on how you choose to grab your foot. But the key here is to really kind of plant that spine down. And when you do this before bed, it's really nice because I've learned recently that our mattresses, especially depending on how soft it is, your body is only really relaxing, but so much when it's, I mean, obviously you're going to sleep if you're sleeping, but it's your body's resting it within your muscles because it's sitting on a plush surface. So it can't fully rest within your skeleton and then allow your muscles to rest. So if you can do some of these things and really release certain parts of the body, I feel like it can be nice to go to bed stretched out instead of going to bed all like tensed up. But I've noticed that even if I don't do this on the floor, I will do this in bed. Not to this effect, but I will literally sit there for even longer and just stretch in bed because it makes me feel better before I go to sleep. It makes me sleep way, way, way better. But sometimes if you don't have an idea of what you want to do, because it's the thing about doing yoga at home, well, it can be tough in a studio because when people are telling you what to do, it starts getting stressful because sometimes they're going really fast and you're not trying to go that fast. But when you're doing it at home, you have to think of what you're doing the whole time. So if you can really just pick like one or two things that you're doing, and maybe even three, here I'm doing three, and just kind of do them 2 or 3 times and focus more on what you're actually doing and taking some breaths and getting a good experience for your body instead of the beginning to end of the whole experience, because it's going to provide you with a better experience, at least in my opinion, from my experience, because when your brain isn't actually able to relax because you're thinking so much about what you're going to do next, you're not really focusing that much on the present moment and being truly relaxed. And right now, we're just hanging out on the floor, and right now I'm also not feeling super relaxed to just kind of hang out here. So I am a bit ready to get up and get moving. So Savasana is not necessarily for everybody. I feel like when you're just starting to enjoy doing yoga and you're finding like the actual piece of just kind of finding that time with yourself and laying there, it's really relaxing because there's so little effort into it and you get so much out of it, because the goal is to literally just go and find a peaceful place to lay there and relax. And ideally, you just did a bunch of movement that opened up a lot of areas of your body that hopefully released a lot of stored up energy. But anyhow, it can be not for everybody, and you just kind of want to relax for a minute and let your body readjust and then get back up and call it in the night, that is a-okay. But sometimes what I do, sometimes I lay on the floor for about 3 hours, I fall asleep, and I have a really good time. But yeah, it's whatever you want to do. But that is all. Like and subscribe, and have a good night. Bye.